you very much for the welcome!
Hey, so I recently found some mystery footage from an event that I put on with my friends at Missoula Grain and Vegetable Co. called Compost Comedy. But it's just kind of random clips, so it doesn't actually, it's not very cohesive. So I'm going to talk and try to make it into something that makes a little more sense. As a quick backstory, I'm going to pull my website. I'm typing. Beckley.com at MGVC. Here's my photos. I'm going to scroll through these and just use it that way. So Missoula Grain and Vegetable Co., I'm going to say MGVC because it is definitely kind of a mouthful, was formed by my buddy Max. We've actually known each other for, since we went to the same daycare together. Had a sick lemonade stand when we were kids, went to different schools, reconnected. And some of that reconnection was obviously over food and local food and its potential to solve or be a piece of solving a lot of problems that we're facing. And I wanted to get involved. I just finished art school, and so I wanted to get involved in whatever way I could. And that started out as, just taking photos of the farm, kind of showing his progress, some logo, designing some brochures and stuff, very just basic stuff. One of the first events that we put on was something called weed dating, which we had seen some other farms do. And again, it's just trying to get people involved with local food in a different way. In 2016, my involvement continued to grow with them. I was helping with the market. We built a super humble market stand, more product labels, shirts, some wooden signs, all kinds of stuff. And at the end of the season, we wanted to have a harvest party or something along those lines. So we ended up having a farm art party at my friend Jack's space, Real Good. And it was kind of just a weird, it just showed old photo. I built a really weird display. Photos mounted on wood, attached to a wire fence of, I don't know, it was strange. It was so time consuming and I took no pictures of the event. But as a small aside of that, we had an open mic called Compost Comedy where the audience had inedible tomatoes. And it turns out that was super fun.
Stops, as the brakes are to do. He gets out and notices that the lever is right in front of his car. He almost hit the lever! But he realizes he didn't hit the lever. It's all right. But he goes behind the truck. It's better Nate than lever.
She's got a song. Oh.
Hey, boy. Why did the cops arrest the bird? They suspected foul play. What did the farmer say when he lost one of his cows? What a mistake. A mistake. You're not laughing, you're not throwing tomatoes, get on.
Everybody want a fork. No, I want a fork on the table. He says, you better not the fork on my table, you son of a bitch.
Okay, I have a joke, and it's not going to make sense to anybody that doesn't speak French, so if anybody can maybe count to 10 in French, this is a little bit funny. And it's a little bit of a riddle. These two cats are swimming across the river. And one cat's name is 1, 2, 3, and the cat's name is Un, 2, 3. And there's a question for the audience. Which cat drowned? 1, 2, 3, Un, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Yeah, I have a few really good jokes. Other ones that I love that I can't match. A piece of toast and a piece of bacon walk into a bar, and the bartender looks at them and kind of glares at them, and he's like,
We don't serve breakfast.
you ruined that! Humpback whale's about to commit suicide. I know this is a bit morbid. We all love our humpback whales.
They're in danger.
And before he dies, he looks up to the sky and says, "Goodbye, cruel world."
I think that's it, folks. This is your last chance if you're sitting there sleeping on your horrible jokes.
Are you allowed to say swear words?
Yeah, oh, yeah, of course. I mean, Dash is here, but my face, but then my beard turned into kombucha. It turns out I bought Just Ferment. Oh! Probiotics! That's the loudest probiotics has ever been screamed in this neighborhood. For sure. I saw Monty the Bear from the University of Montana over at Kettle House, and he got a growler. Because he's a bear, and bears fucking growl! Alright, give me a word and I'll make a pun about it. Somebody give me something. Tomatoes.
Fish stick.
Fish stick. Okay. I went to Rockin' Rudy's. I'm gonna make all these local jokes too. I went to a Rockin' Rudy's and I bought some new incense so I can burn them while I listen to Fish. Fish stick! Fish stick! Yeah, somebody here likes fish. Are we all out of tomatoes? Oh my god, shark soup? No, I'm not gonna do fish-themed food jokes. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And definitely want to thank everybody for participating in
So 2017, that season, I continued to help them with the farm and the market stands. We'd actually built a bike pedaled one to bring it there that was a nightmare. Like, it was so heavy, and I'd get up at 6:30 every Saturday and pedal this thing. Like, it wasn't even like 2 kilometers, but it was like, you know, I got some leg muscles from that thing. It was heavy. Well, I've finished building this. Feel like kind of like a pilgrim about to cross on the Mayflower or whatever. Don't really know how this is gonna go. It's very heavy. Well, we're in motion. Good start. It's somewhat slow going. I feel okay about it so far. Here we go. Here's the first turn. We're half a block in. My legs are tired.
Is there a car coming?
No. I don't think they use that anymore. I think they put it in a truck if they bring the pieces from it. But it also helped, like, I built that in part at Free Cycles, so that made it a logical source to have Compost Comedy at. Also, it was outdoors, so it could be a little bit messy, and they were totally open to it. Free Cycles is an amazing community resource in Missoula. Essentially, I mean, it's what the name says. It's a place that people can go to build free bikes. I definitely learned some things at the previous Compost Comedy. We needed better, like, face protection or something, because it was, well, here's why.
No headshot.
You will pay for them.
So I made these OSHA certified hard hats, as well as, you know, just kind of built random things. We also had another farm jump in and help us, Harlequin Produce. I went around one market and just asked all these random farms if they wanted to, like, bring rotten vegetables to a thing on Saturday night, and not many did. But Harlequin Produce, another local farm, did, and so they joined us. And then we also had, like, a vendor, we had beer, my friend Dave was doing printing there, and a few other things that were just like, it just was bigger, for sure. I was hosting it, and I don't know who had my phone, but they ended up taking clips just throughout the night. Quick disclaimer, obviously all the groups involved, I mean, I took the forefront of this project, and I don't want the weird behavior of people at an open mic to reflect on a community space. All right, folks, what a start. I'm glad we have such a, oh, give it up for Paul. Give it up for Paul, the tomato collector. Because it's essentially the janitor. Oh, this mic already tastes like tomatoes. Yeah, Paul. We have Anthony. Anthony's coming up next. Oh, always going for the 12-year-olds are coming up next, actually. Hey, this kid in the blue shirt. It definitely was kind of operating on the level of, like, barely manageable chaos. You know, kind of like a mob justice. Like, people were throwing too hard, so we would just make them go up there. I don't know. We were just winging it. And, you know, there were some kids that were being little shitheads, and, like, their parents were there. They seemed fine with it. Start off the night with the child-friendly section. If they swear once, I'm shutting the mic off on them. Gotta keep things responsible here. You guys are good. Oh, whoa! You gotta do it. This whole backdrop did not last long at all. Also, look at that scoopful by Paul, folks. Look at that Paul scoop. Pretty good, Paul. He's keeping this thing going. This is Paul, another good scoop. Let's give it up. Let's get up for Paul, another good scoop. Let's give it up for local food. Let's give it up for free cycles. Let's give it up for community. This is awesome. Let's give it up for Noah. You got a helmet, dude? You got any jokes, Noah, or you just want 30 seconds of tomato pain? Okay. Keep them PG. Paul. Oh, Paul.
Hello, my name is Paul. You know me. I've been scooping tomatoes around, and I want to compliment you guys on how hard they've been thrown. It's very smushy, very hard to pick up. Whoa! Jesus Christ, could not have thrown that any better himself. All right, so I know that comedy is grounded in truth. So I hope you guys are all prepared for a lot of jokes about all the BDSM style sex that I have with
Barely manageable chaos.
I don't know. Speaking of weird sex, I think that, okay, so I want to talk a little bit about fetishes. Now, you middle schoolers, a fetish is like so Halloween is coming up, it's October. Well, it's whatever time it is, I don't know, it might be midnight, I've been drinking. So, one of my favorite movies, my friends will know I don't like scary movies, so this is a total lie. But one of my favorite movies to watch is Children of the Corn. Yes! Oh, you guys should listen. I can beat up a child. That's not scary at all. Like, at the end of the movie, like, after the entire town has been murdered, spoiler alert, sorry guys, after the entire town has been murdered by these children, the hero, the protagonist, he walks up to the kid, and you know what he does? He pushes him, because he's a goddamn adult. He just fucking pushes him to the ground, and the kid's like, ah! It's not scary at all, it's just fun. What I'm getting at is I like to beat up kids, and I'll see you guys after the show.
The cops actually got called to it too, I think mostly because we were just like really loud. And they just watched, like I didn't even know they were there. Somebody else told me they came later. But so I'm sure they were just like, what the fuck?
Thank you very much for the welcome.
It's all fun and games.
Thank you for coming in. This is Recycle Community Events. And we always appreciate your contributions to this community shop.
This is a very elaborate joke.
I can handle better hits than this because I play football. You are sissy when it comes to this game. Come on! contribution I've been. Yeah, and then also I qualify as being an alien, always being hit by society as being an alien from Guatemala, the Mayan country, where we have 5,000 years of history. Keep going, you fucking Americans.
Rental microphone, Oscar. Rental microphone. Extra tomatoes. Hey, did anybody else get the like the Monty Python, the guy who's?
So yeah, I mean, it was like a wild event, and not like crazy, but I don't know. I think like that's part of why we haven't done it again, is like scaling it up any more than that. Even that little scale up, like I spent so much time just trying to manage like a few people who were just being like assholes that changes the entire vibe and dynamic. And with something that's kind of wild like that, it was just pretty difficult, as well as thinking about, you know, if it were to get any bigger, obviously, even if we were to do it again, just like the liability side of things. And same, like, you know, it was an open mic, and so the first dude who went up just gave some like super weird political rant, and which that's who you want to throw tomatoes at when you're like at an open mic and that guy goes up. But I don't know, it was strange. If we were to do it again, I would for sure sell tickets because it was all donation based. So I think after costs, I mean, I think not that it's about the money, but I think we made $100 and gave $100 to Free Cycles. Like, it was not financially worth it at all. But then, I mean, that's not why you do that stuff. I like the idea of selling tickets and maybe you get some produce with it, like some rotten produce. But then I like the idea of the farms having like a rotten farmer's market or something where you can buy more rotten produce. I think if you put a cost on it, it might make people slightly less crazy, but you also just have to throw people out if they were behaving too wild. And you obviously need to just be like, all right, this is 21 and up, or this is like, your comedy needs to be clean and like no weird political rants. I don't know. Obviously, huge thanks to all the people who were involved with it. I mean, Missoula Grain and Vegetable, of course, and then just so many other people helped out, and it was fun, it was crazy. I just wanted to share some slight documentation of it because it was just such a unique event that it's kind of difficult. It's not difficult to explain, but I think just showing it is better. All right, bye.